1, 2, 3. Hi, this is The Greatest Story Ever Played. I'm Dan.
I'm Jordan.
And today we are going to talk about a short hike.
Yeah, the game. Not like actually going on a short hike, but yeah, so description here is hike, climb, and soar through the peaceful mountainside landscape of Hawk Peak Provincial Park as you make your way to the summit.
Yep. And then little background on the game is it was developed by Adamgryu, and this is their first game. And so I think this is actually a one-person studio that Adam just made this game on their own, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, super impressed, for sure. And then also, this was part of the itch.io Racial Justice and Equality Bundle that came out in, I don't know, May or something like that. So if you did pick this up, you have this game on your computer, and you should go play it, for sure. Yeah, good game.
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah.
Very satisfying, too.
Yes, totally. And I guess with that in mind, we're going to do kind of our standard recap, but this game doesn't have like a lot of story or a lot of things about it. It's really, I guess, experiential, I would say. And so I would highly recommend playing it. I think even just hearing about it might not quite do it justice. Like, I think it's a very enjoyable experience.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk more about this, but it's similar to Animal Crossing, where it's really fun, but it's to explain to someone, you're probably like, that sounds okay. But when you actually see it, hold it in your hand, interact with it, it's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally agree. Did you play on Switch?
Yeah.
Okay, I did too. I thought that was really great with it too, just playing on Switch and being able to like lay on my couch and play it handheld. Super nice.
Yeah, there's just something really nice about like games like this. I think just are better handheld.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's very there. But yeah, that's I guess our quick intro. But we will jump right into the game. And so the game begins, and you play as a girl named Claire, who is a little bird, and she goes to like summer camp, but she realizes while she's there that she doesn't have phone reception. So, of course, like any teenager, you can't live without that. Like, gotta have my phone.
Yep.
And so she asks her, she's with her aunt, I think, at the summer. Yep. Okay. And she asks her, hey, I don't have a phone signal. What do I do? And she's like, oh, just hike Hawks Peak. If you are up high enough, you'll probably get a signal there. We're pretty far out. And so this really sets Claire on her journey of, okay, if I climb Hawks Peak, I'll be able to use my phone and, that'll be great. So from here, the main thing you kind of find out pretty early on is that as you gather feathers, which are gold or silver, they increase your stamina, which make you able to hike better. Able to like go up, 90-degree angles and stuff like that, or be able to fly.
Yeah, so I think as you said, it's like your stamina bar. So the game involves a lot of like climbing too. So like hiking, climbing, whatever, running, and that doing all of those things takes stamina. I mean, I guess except walking. But yeah, you definitely need the feathers are kind of like experience points, and as you get them, you can go higher on the mountain. Technically.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And if you're clever, you might be able to like work your way around a little bit if your stamina's low, but it ultimately does halt you. Like there's some that you can't do if you don't have, 5 feathers or something like that. And as you're walking, kind of the people you interact with, you get a lot of like, oh man, Hawks Peak, that's a tough hike. Like, are you ready for it? Are you trained up? And you're just kind of like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, it's the dialogue in this game felt kind of like a few other indie games we played. What was that? What was like the first one we played?
Oxenfree,
like Night in the Woods. It's like kind of sarcastic, kind of goofy, funny. Yeah, interesting, fun dialogue for sure.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it really like hit the dialogue like something like Night in the Woods or Oxenfree, but it was still like for children also or whatever, like children age appropriate, I guess. Like, it would be like if the Animal Crossing characters had some a little more quote unquote character to them or whatever, like a little more sarcastic, a little more whatever. But children could still play it and it would be fine.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that for sure.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. I really like talking to everyone I met along the way.
Yeah.
So, I guess from here, your kind of main journey is, so you kind of know your feather mechanic, that's what you need to kind of use. And so you can really explore the whole camp, I guess, area that you're around and meet a lot of various NPCs, people you can engage with. They're all animals also, but not all birds, bunch of different animals. And you can engage in different activities with them. One of them is beach stick ball. Did you play this?
Yeah, I played a little bit. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's silly. It's it's basically like a volleyball net with a volleyball, but then you use a baseball bat to like hit the ball back and forth with each other. And if you get a certain amount of volleys, you'll get rewards as you go. I think the highest I got was maybe like 20 some. I got the second reward, whatever that was. He gave me a bunch of money and he said, and I was like, oh, like, are you sure you want to give me all this money? And he was like, my parents are rich, I don't care.
There's the sarcasm.
Yeah, I was like, that's amazing. I love this. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah, I played some of it. I don't think I ever hit, what, you said 20 was the second highest?
Yeah.
I maybe hit in the teens. I can't remember. I only played it a couple times.
Yeah, okay.
I was more interested in, like, climbing and exploring.
Yeah, I was too. I definitely went back, was once I got higher, because I did want to explore more too. You can also race people. There's like part of the way when you're hiking is you find like a rabbit and some other people who are running laps, and you can join in a race with them if you want. I actually didn't do that. Did you do that?
No, at the end I did. Like
okay.
The climbing race thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Parkour, I think they called it.
Okay. That's awesome. You can also rent a boat and drive that around. I did that. That was pretty fun.
Where was that? I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, there's a dock that is somewhere near the water. I guess my angle isn't good because I think this is basically a big island, kind of. Or
yeah.
It kind of looks like a big island. I'm sure it's actually all land connected, but like, because in the beginning of the game they show you going there in a car, but
maybe.
But so I would imagine it's landlocked, but it seems like it's a big island mountain area thing. But yeah, near the water in one of them, you can rent a boat for like 50 or 100 coins. But it's pretty fun because then you can drive around and you can find more chests with feathers and more coins and stuff like that.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of people you can kind of meet throughout. Some of them you meet early in your journey. Like there's someone who wants you to collect shells for them, and then they're just kind of mean to you. So I was mad I helped.
Did you ever get all the shells? I don't think I did finish that.
I did. I only did the first round. I think after the second round they send you on to go do more, and they're just like, thanks for nothing or something. Get me more stuff. Like, and I was like, see ya, dude.
Nope. Yeah, I helped I think it was a frog. You get a shovel from the frog if you give him a sand shovel, like to make a sand castle.
Okay.
I helped that guy, and then I joined the climbing club.
Okay.
Which I guess you have to do. I think you have to join the climbing club to progress. But
okay, I probably did too then.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, it's fun just kind of meeting the people around the way though, for sure. Your kind of next, I guess, big plot point that comes along is on the way to the summit, you're able to buy a gold feather from the park office, but they only have one. And they let you know that the rest of the golden feathers they had were already purchased by another hiker. And so, sorry, good luck kind of thing.
Yeah. And you, as we've kind of talked about, you can find them too, like, as you're exploring the park, mm-hmm. you can find golden feathers. You don't have to just buy them, which is great. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt. I really enjoyed stumbling upon them. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was. And it was cool as you got more feathers that you could access more places to find money or more feathers or that kind of thing. So it was cool. It set it up in a really good way that, like, I feel like you could play this game multiple ways, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, seriously, for like a pretty quick, short game, there's a lot to do. Yeah, and a lot of different routes to tackle the main objective of getting to the top.
Yeah.
I think it's very well done. Very well made game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally agree. Your kind of next plot point that you get to is right before you get to, like, the summit of the mountain. There's a guy there who's selling feathers at a really high rate. So, like, maybe you bought the one at the park office for, like, I don't know, 25 or something, and he's selling them for 100.
Yep, he's probably the guy that bought him.
Yeah, he's the guy that bought him, and he's kind of a dick about it. He's like, "Oh, do you think you can climb this without these feathers? Well, you got to pay my 100." So he's
no, I will climb it without your feathers.
Yeah, yep. I tried to climb it without him. I ended up having to buy some eventually, but I was like, "Fuck you, guy."
Yeah.
At first, but when you go back to him and you talk to him and, like, egg him on, it sounded like he needs money because he can't afford his classes or something for school, and so he was like, "This was my way to do it," but it took a little bit to find out about it, which was like, okay, I get it, like, I see why you're doing it, but you're still kind of a dick.
Yeah, like, this is less bad, but still, dude, I don't like you.
Yeah, yep. And another thing that's cool is that once you get to the summit, when you meet him, the game recommends, it's like, we recommend you have 7 feathers to scale the summit. Which is cool, because that kind of, to me, implies that you could probably do it with less than 7, but I bet it's really hard, and you have to, like, do it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also do it with more than 7, which I thought this was pretty interesting, because then once you get to the summit, a new mechanic gets introduced, which is, it's really cold up there, so your feathers will actually freeze. And so you have to kind of time it well, where it's like, okay, I can let these feathers freeze and I'll make it to the top of this mountain or to this next area, so they add this element, and then to kind of go with it, they add in these hot springs that you can jump in that will then make your feathers unfreeze, kind of thing. And so you're like, okay, can I, with my feathers, make it to that hot spring or not? Or, that kind of thing, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, this was a really cool way to to not change the game necessarily, but introduce, like, a slightly difficult mechanic to take what was already in the game and make it more difficult. Mm-hmm. I thought it was really well done. Yeah. And even just, like, well, I don't want to get too ahead, but yeah, this was cool. And then, yeah, finding the hot springs, it kind of made, like, early in the game when you were finding a feather, it was, like, exciting. Now, like, finding hot springs was kind of exciting. So it was cool.
Yeah, it was, because you're like, cool, okay, I made it to this ledge. Boom, now I have 8 feathers again. How far can I get with these 8 feathers before? And so you'd get that, like, kind of trial and error. You're like, okay, I'll try to just climb straight up. Okay, that doesn't work. Go back to the hot spring. Okay, what about if I go this way around the mountain? Or is there another ledge I can get to? Or whatever. So it was cool. It, like, made you really think about how to scale the mountain with the amount of feathers you had at the time.
Yeah, definitely. It's yeah, like we said, well done, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Ultimately, this culminates in you make it to the peak. I felt pretty satisfied making it to the top of the mountain. I was like, I did it. Like, that was cool.
Yeah, and even the scenery up here was pretty cool. Like, I forget what that light's called up in the north. The Northern Lights, I'm going to call it that.
Yeah, maybe.
You kind of get that feel up there, and, like, you're super high up, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool scene.
Yeah, it's cool. You're, like, above the world. It feels like, kind of thing. And there's a hot spring up there, so you get to, like, reload, which was cool.
Yeah.
And you make it, and your phone rings. You're back in service, and you talk on the phone with your mom, and you find out that she had just had surgery, and you basically found out once you got to camp. And your aunt was like, by the way, like the reason your mom's not with us is because she's getting surgery. And you're like, what? Mom, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And your mom's just kind of like, oh, like I didn't want you to worry. Like, you're a big girl. You climbed Hawks Peak on your own. Like, you're growing up. You won't always need me or something like that. And you're like, no, I'll always need you. And so it's a nice mother-daughter moment or whatever here where it's like, no, this is good. And kind of cool seeing that Claire had a real reason why she wanted to get to like the top of Hawks Peak. It wasn't that she needed to check Facebook or something, but like
yeah.
she was concerned about her mom, and so she took this journey to do that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely makes it more like she wasn't like trying to talk to some boy or something, like it was, like you're saying, a very important reason. I think it added meaning to the journey, and it was nice too because I honestly was kind of expecting a sad ending. Like she calls her mom and she's like on her deathbed or something. I don't know.
Sure.
But I'm glad it wasn't really sad. I think I'm just paranoid now from playing like Life is Strange games that just every game's out to just punch me in the gut.
That's fair. We've definitely played a lot of gut punch games, so it was nice to get something that was just nice and relaxing and fun, and I don't know, all the things that this game was, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. I guess that's really a recap of the game itself. Do you have any other things on general recap? Or I mean, on recap, sorry. I guess we'll move to general thoughts if there's not recap. Sorry, that was confusing.
Yeah, well, maybe a small one. We definitely talked about this a little bit already, but like as you go, there's like little side quests you can do, and they're all kind of short. But yeah, like you had mentioned, like getting the shells, or mentioned getting the shovel, getting the golden feathers, whatever. But there's other things you can do too. Like you can find this headband for someone. You can help some artists do some stuff. Like there's a bunch of side quests. Also, did you get any of like the hats?
I didn't. No.
I got this.
I don't think so. At least
it's like a straw hat. You can get it if you like help this deer pick up trash. So that was like a side quest, and then you get like a.
I did do that.
Yeah. Then you get to wear this cool sun hat thing.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah. That's cool. I think almost every character can like give you a side quest, or you can play a game with them or do something with them, which is pretty cool. They're not like not a lot of them are only stationary. Oh, one of them you can get a shovel from.
The frog.
Yeah.
You like trade in the sand shovel for
a real one.
Real shovel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. It's cool that like there's just all these little things. Like I've played, like I think that the game actually, if you just like were trying to go straight through, is maybe an hour to an hour and a half, would be my guess. And I've probably played 3 hours or something. Like I've played enough that I've been trying to find, is there anything I haven't done yet, kind of thing. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do.
Yeah, I think it was probably about 2 hours playtime.
Okay.
But I definitely like wandered around a fair amount, and definitely looked for. I like tried to talk to all the animals.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I guess we can move into some general thoughts on the game. The first thing that like really stood out to me playing this game is it was just super calm and relaxing. As we mentioned before, a lot of games, as you know, that we play are probably more intense, probably more negative.
Or at least sad.
Or sad.
Or difficult.
Sad, emotional, difficult, different things like that. But this instead, it really felt like how it felt to me playing Animal Crossing in March. Like, in March, I just remember playing tons of Animal Crossing. And it was just a really nice, kind of relaxing thing that was going on. And I felt real similar playing this game. And it felt like, like laying on my couch playing a handheld, nice game that's like super chill. I don't know. It really felt like that to me. Did it feel that way for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think your comparison to Animal Crossing is pretty accurate. I think this game has better characters, like you had said.
Mm-hmm.
I think Animal Crossing's like longer, and there's more to do long term, but they feel so similar. It feels to me kind of like Stardew Valley. I don't know if you played that yet, but it feels like a mix between that and Animal Crossing.
Okay. Yeah.
And actually, so much so that I started playing Animal Crossing again after I played this. So yeah. So my recommendation is to kind of jump back on because there's Christmas stuff going on in Animal Crossing. Anyway, yeah. It definitely feels like Animal Crossing. It's very relaxing. The music's really cool. The scenery's pleasant to look at. It's just a nice feeling looking game.
Mm-hmm. No, that good call out about Animal Crossing. Now that Christmas stuff is there, I fucked up and didn't do it for Halloween, so I do feel like I should go back and enjoy some more Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I forgot for Halloween too. I thought about like setting the time back 3 months, but decided not to. Yeah, cheat. I don't want to cheat. But yeah, this similar to what you said, I guess, but this game is just really enjoyable. Very fun. I didn't get bored, like, right from the beginning, like, oh, this is cool, like, just trying to figure out the mechanics, talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
I just jumping right into it. It was just a really fun, enjoyable game that, like, I think I want to go back through and try to get all the feathers and talk to all the people and find that boat, do that kind of stuff. Because it doesn't have necessarily, like, crazy replayability, but it's definitely one of those games that you kind of want to just squeeze out every last drop of content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's you're right. It doesn't have like replayability in the same way as Animal Crossing, but there's something that's like I don't know, soothing or something about going back.
Yeah.
Like I've gone back, I don't know, probably like 4 times or something to play. Even if it's just for like 15 minutes or whatever since I beat the game, which is I don't almost ever do that. Like typically, if I beat a game, then it's like. It's over and I maybe never go back kind of thing. So, so to do that for this one is just, I'm going to climb to the top and then I'm just going to soar for a while until I find something I want to go do or something like, I don't know. It's kind of cool that it's that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is connected to one thought too, is I wish it had more in-game content. Mm-hmm. I know it sounds like you don't really care that much about that. But like, if I really like a game, I want to keep playing it. I know that, you can't have an infinitely long game. It just doesn't exist. But I definitely playing this. I wish it was longer. And if this guy adds more stuff to it or makes another game like this, I'll probably just play it. Because I wish it was longer. I'm not trying to knock it. I understand it's one guy making a game. It's really good for what it is. But I wish there was more to it.
Yeah, I feel like it would be pretty cool if once you like climbed the summit, if someone gave you a new quest even. I feel like that would be cool. Like
or even like going back down is like difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. Or like, if you once you fly down, you go and talk to your aunt and then she tells you something to do. Like, oh, well, have you checked out this other place in the park or something like that? Like, I think that would have been cool just to give like an extra quest along the way. I would like that for sure.
Yeah.
And I think because it's a short game, more in-game content would be cool because like, I feel like at the end of like a 40-hour game, if they're like, hey, there's more in-game content, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's cool, I guess. But like, I would have probably been happier doing that before I got to the end, Like I don't know. I haven't played a lot of RPGs, but when I do, I try to do everything before the end. Like because then once I do the final battle or whatever, then it's like actually over. That's how I like playing. I'm sure other people are the opposite, but like that's how I would kind of like to play. But being a short game, if they're like, hey, wait, there's more, I would be like, cool, I want to keep playing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I play RPGs differently than you, so, but I still understand what you're saying about that for sure.
Do you do all the side quests after you beat it? Is that how you play?
No, I kind of just do a mixture of both. I don't really have a method. Okay. But I definitely don't just try to beat everything first necessarily. I think when I get to the, like, you can kind of tell when a game is about to wrap up, the main story at least. Mm-hmm. When I'm getting close to that, I'll tend to just do more side quests, but I don't necessarily do all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my temptation is to try to do all of them, or all the ones that seem most important, kind of thing, and then I might do a little cleanup at the end, but usually by the time I'm like, once I finish it, then I'm kind of like, all right, see you game. Um,
Yeah, I think it just depends on the game to me. If I'm
yeah,
gonna play much longer or not.
yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. I guess actually on the topic of open world, I thought something that's interesting in this game is I've never played an indie game that was open world like this. You know, all the indie games I've played are pretty confined to like the areas they're in. You know, like you have this one level and that's all you can be in. But in this, you can go all over the map. Like, once you are at the top, I guess we forgot to say this, but at the top of the mountain, after you talk with your mom, there's like a wind gust that you can jump into. And then literally you can just fly above the whole map. And as you get closer, you can see the ground more. And so you can really access anywhere at any time, especially once you have a lot of feathers. Like, you can really go everywhere. It's very there, which is pretty cool. Like, I don't think I've played any indie game that's this way. Almost all the ones I've ever played are more confined. Like, their areas are more defined. It's this level, that's it, kind of thing.
Yeah, you're right. It definitely is an open world game. I mean, the open world is small, but it's 100% open world. And like I said, it's almost like a little mini RPG, which is pretty cool. Like an open world sandbox game.
Yeah, super cool. Cool idea.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, definitely really cool. I think honestly, this might be the best indie game I've played, or at least my favorite. I think I would say that.
That's awesome. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
very fun.
Yes. Totally agree. I was really blown away by this. There's a lot of hype coming in for me. Like, I've heard enough people say, like, you should play this kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, like, my expectations were kind of high. And it was cool to see how enjoyable it was. And, it's a great indie game. I feel like this is a game that, like, I feel like would fit in that category of everyone should play it. Like, I feel like a non-gamer could play this and would still really enjoy it. It could be great.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if you enjoy, like, if you like games like Animal Crossing, I would highly recommend picking this up. And if you just like feel good games that have a pretty good soundtrack, I'd also pick this up. It's also really cheap. Even if you didn't get that that bundle, I think what is it, $9?
Yeah, something like that.
$10. It's like pretty reasonably priced for what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really reasonably priced. It's totally worth the $10 or $8 or whatever it is. Like, spot on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Do you want to go to listener feedback?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Sweet. Got a couple comments here. First up, we've got Pogo on Twitter who says, I loved it. Very simple, or very relaxing, simple, but satisfying ending. Yeah, I agree. I think this game is simple, but in the best way. It's not a knock. Instead, it's simple and it's super nice and enjoyable.
Yeah, I assume what the developer wanted to do, he accomplished and did it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is very relaxing too. Tom on Twitter said, loved it, great stuff. I agree. I loved it and great stuff. Yep.
Last up, Ludo Narrative on Twitter said that they enjoyed the game and that they've got to plug their thoughts on it from the Left Behind Game Club podcast episode on this incredible indie game. Highly recommend checking that out. Left Behind Game Club are awesome. I'm actually going to be podcasting with Jacob here in the next couple weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Great game. I'll send that episode out too, actually, once this one's out, because I want to check it out too. That is a short hike. Great, super enjoyable game. If you haven't played it by this point, but you've listened to this, still go play it. I think playing it will be better than even what we've said about it.
Yeah.
Just being such an experience. I really think there's a lot of things that are just really enjoyable by doing it yourself, especially with this game. Yeah, that is what we've got. So if you'd like to get in contact with us, you can do that on Twitter at StoryEverPod. Our website is TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed.com, and our backlog of episodes are available there. If you would like to support the podcast financially, you can do that at patreon.com/TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed. And for as little as $1 per month, that will give you access to bonus episodes that we do each month that are topical about games. So we talked about like our favorite Pokemon before. Most recently, we did our favorite characters from Telltale's The Walking Dead. Just kind of stuff like that. So if that interests you, please check that out. If you'd like to support the podcast, but not financially, that is totally cool. One way you could do that is by going to your podcast platform of choice, whether Apple Podcast or Podchaser or whatever, and rating and reviewing the podcast on there. That would really help just getting the show in front of more people to, enjoy these games more with each other. That would be cool. And yeah, that is the episode, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.